Okay, let's see what you have done here. I will just open one. Okay, this is of B13. See whether the implementation is correct or wrong. The same thread. Right, you have two threads, and under the thread you are showing show latitude and show longitude. So what to do with the latitude? Here you have yes, you keep iterating, and then you sleep for 2000 milliseconds, and then okay, you are getting, okay, what is this last latitude? Okay, it's a random number, right? You are getting a number between these two, and then yeah, you just convert it to this format, and then what is this append latitude? All right, so you are going to show it within the text. Right. Anyway, this is correct, right? The way you did this is correct. Okay, these two methods are sustained. Is just a I'm not sure whether they are actually yeah, it's deprecated, right? So that's a problem. So these are deprecated. So because of that, you cannot. You typically better if you omit using these two, right? To just stop the thread. By the way, I will provide some insight how this has been done. First of all, we have to create this kind of UI, right? And this UI is good, and it shows latitude and longitude, and also he has put two text boxes, right? So first of all, you better align them properly, right, without overlapping. and also it's always better to have the same width. That's okay, that's better. And also if you like, it will be better if you can keep the buttons in the regular places, like exit somewhere here or maybe somewhere here, right, based on the preference of the user, right. And then you better name these buttons with a meaningful name, right. If you go to the properties, you can see under the property, it's just button 1, right, button 1. And what about this, again button 2. So likewise not properly name the items. And this one also it's just txt. This is okay, this one is also okay, right. So what happens when you click on the turn on GPS? So first of all, he has created a thread, right, a two thread thread reference, right, thread object references. And then he just started the two threads, and each thread using a kind of method. Now this is going to be run parallelly, right. Show latitude and show longitude, that is going to be run parallelly, right. So this is what within the button click event. And here show latitude, you can see it's nothing but a while loop, right. It's nothing but a while loop, and within the while loop what it does, it keep iterating while sleeping for 200 milliseconds, 2000 milliseconds, that means 2 seconds, and then get a random number, right. මේ loop එක යන ගමන් random number එකක් අරගන්න. random number එකක් අරගෙන මෙතන නම් එයා දාලා තියෙන minimum and maximum value එකක්, right. This is anyway, this is not actually necessary for putting a minimum and maximum. If you can just rescale it after that, right. But it doesn't matter now, since you mentioned the minimum and maximum, then you really get a value for this, and then based on the value, then you can format, or maybe you can simply divide it by a long number, right. again long digit එකකින් divide කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට ඔයාලට සාමාන්‍ය preferable number එකක් එයි. Because of that, whatever the number it is, we really don't care unless it shows, it looks like a GPS coordinate, right. And what it does is it simply assigning the value, right. It's simply assigning the value. So he uses this kind of value assignment, right, for the text flat, right. So it can be like text latitude, this is also possible, right. Now on the spot you are assigning it to the text, the txt latitude, right. So this is also possible, right. Now anyway, you can do it the other way around, right. Doesn't matter, this is what you have to do, right. Now this only shows the latitude, and at the same time you can do the same with the longitude database. On the spot you can just get another value for the longitude, and then you can show it in the txt long dot invoke method invoker delegate, and then txt long dot text equal the other value, right. So that means if you are creating two different random numbers, and then those random numbers can be kept in the two text boxes. That's all, right. So that means simply within just one thread, you can do this task, right? And that's all. And at the same time, you can create a variable here, right? Just to stop, right? You can create a variable here just to stop. So there, you are using the same thread without stopping that, right? Without stopping it, and whenever you need to do, whenever you need to create a or stopping appearance, or maybe whenever you need to pause the receiving signals from the GPS, then you can just maybe convert or set the value of that variable to false, right? True or false, something like this. If is on, then do this, something like this, right? Is on is what? Is a variable. It's a boolean variable. Is on, right? Initially false, and we better convert it to a volatile, right? And when somebody okay, initially you start it, right? You can start it when the form is initialized, or maybe it better you do this not here but when the form is loaded, because only one time it will be loaded. If it is on, make a true නම් විතරයි මේක වැඩ කරන්නේ. We better keep this one aside, otherwise it's going to be looped extremely high speed. If this is on is false, right? මේක true වුණත් false වුණත් මේක මේ loop එක යන්නේ තප්පර දෙකෙන් දෙකට, right? Now whenever the button on click, what we have to do is just simply make it is true, right? And otherwise, where's the other button? Here the button to click, make it false. And I will just remove this one, right? You can create it later, right? Let's work on the latitude only. Here's the latitude. Now it's showing, right? And stopped. And again showing. Now here you can see we are using the same thread, right? Same thread which is going to be started at the beginning, and also it's going to keep running until you end the program, right? But still you can stop the signal, right, by setting a variable. So if I remove all the other codes, unnecessary codes from here, right, form mode, we will keep this one, and I will remove these two as well. And you will see how easy it is to do this. Okay, exit is correct, button 2 is correct, and this one does not need, and exception is okay. Okay, this one is too, we don't need this one as well, and this one also not needed, right? Only this one. That's all right. Very simple code. In the form load, you have this, and okay, you have this exception catching, right? Let's do let's create another one for the longitude. This is right? Now everything has finished. Yes. See how simple it is. You don't need this one. Only one thread, right? You have just one thread, and with that thread, what you do, you keep iterating, right? You keep iterating, and then you randomly get the value, and then you format it, and then you put it in the text, and then again randomly get a value, and then format it, and then put it in the other text, and then you are sleeping. You sleep the thread for 2 seconds, and finally you start at the beginning, right? Now this code will be executed only this variable is turned on, or maybe the variable is true, right? So because of that, we start it by making the variable true, right? And we stop it by making the variable false, right? And whenever you open the application, it simply start the thread. So this is the actual code should be behind that should be behind the this kind of application, very simple simulator, right? Can you see how many lines? Just 71 lines, right? We can සාමාන්‍ය බැලුවොත් එහෙම lines 35කින් වගේ මේක ලියන්න පුළුවන්. මේක spaces ඇරියෝ 35ක් වගේ ඇති මේ වගේ පොඩි code එකක් ලියන්න. Right, let me know if you still have any doubts in this program. මෙතන නොතේරෙන කොතන මොකක් හරි තැනක් තියෙනවා නම් point කරලා අහන්න. නැත්තම් කියන්න මෙන්න මේ අසවල් තැන තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. එතකොට මම ආයේ පැහැදිලි කරන්නම්.
Sir,
Yes.
ආයේ පොඩ්ඩක් මුල ඉඳලා කියලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද?
Okay. Well, let me quickly create one from the scratch then. Right, now here we have our form. Let me create a label. A group of, let's say, first of all, Right, here we have our simple UI, user interface, and the main thing we need to do is just rename the value, or the rename the two text boxes that we just created. So this is going to be, let's say, txt latitude, txt longitude, right? And here let's create two buttons. So here we have two buttons, and right. Okay, now you have two buttons, and at the same time we are going to okay, if you like, you can put a exit button as well. I will keep just these two, right? And okay, first of all, we need to create handlers for three different paths. That is, the first one is the load event, form load, and also the two buttons, the button click and stop button click, right? So this is our code. You can see in this code we have only form load, button click, button stop click, and start click, right? So in the form load one, what we have to do is we have to just create a thread, right? Now to do that, I will create thread and make sure that you import the system.threading, and here we can put a GPS sim, let's say. Right, GPS sim thread, right? Make a simulator. So whenever the form is started, what we have to do is we are just creating a new object, new thread, and within bracket you can place whatever the method, right? Right, and then here you initialize the thread with a new object, and then you put what to run parallelly, right? This method is going to be run parallel with the main program. And at the same time, you have to start it. Dot start. Right now, when you run this program, you won't see, you will see nothing, right? The reason is you just start a thread and that thread will be start and then stop because there is nothing to be done parallel. Now here you can, what you can do is you can simply create a while loop, right? While true, what should be done? You need to randomly get a value. Right? And then what? You can get a value, right? You can get a value. Okay, if you go to the okay, now typically you will get something like this, right? 6 point and 79 point, right? So we'll utilize this kind of thing, right? 6 point and 79 point. So that means you can go maybe somewhere around -1 to +1 addition and again -1 to +1 addition. So we will do this in that way. So because of that, I'm going to use a value, right? It's actually going to be a double value that is going to be equal rnd dot next double. Now this returns what? It returns a random floating point number that is greater than or equal to 0, right? Yeah, this one, next double, another one returns a random floating point number that is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1. We can get whatever it is. I think we better get this one. Right, so you get the value. Now what? Now we need to assign this value, right? Now we need to assign this value to our text box, right? Now as you know that we are in a thread, right? මේ method එක call වෙන්නේ thread එකක් ඇතුලේ. කියන්නේ main thread එක නෙමෙයි මේ method එක call වෙන්නේ. වෙනත් ඒ කියන්නේ parallel thread එක. Parallel thread එක යන නිසා, right? Since it's running on a separate thread, you cannot directly access the user controls. The reason is user controls are in different thread. We are in a different thread. So because of that, if we directly say, let's say txt, right? Sorry, text equals something, it will raise a cross-thread access, unsafe cross-thread access exception. So because of that, we are not going to do this. Instead, we are going to use the proper way. We use invoke, right? And within this, we are going to create a method delegate. And we did this one already, right? මට මතකයට අපි මේක දැනටම කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Now here you can say what you need. Now, since we typically get values between 6 and 79, I'm going to do something like this: 6 plus the value a kind of a lazy way, right? කම්මැලිකම හින්දා මෙම දැම්ම නැත්නම් ඔයාට හරියට format කරලා දැන් අර කලින් කියනා වගේ format කරලා දාන්න පුළුවන්, right? Anyway, this one still will do the task. It simply shows you this apostrophes plus will typically convert whatever the value here to a number, right? To a string. And the same can be done again for the latitude as well. We get another double value, and now this is going to be just 79. And if you like, you can do it in this way: 1 minus this way. You will get both positive and negative value, right? You can make a shift වෙන්නේ ඍණ එකේ ඉඳලා ධන එක වෙනකන්. මේකටත් ඒ වැඩේ කරන්න. මේක අත්‍යවශ්‍යම නැහැ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කැමති නම් කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම මේක මර වැලියු එක ටිකක් ලස්සන වෙන්න කරන්නේ. Right? And this one should be ln right. And one thing, since we don't see this thread, let's make it as a background thread. So whenever you stop the program, it will stop the thread as well. එක is background කියන එක true කරොත් ඔයාගේ program එක close වෙනකොට මේ parallelly run වෙන thread එකත් එහෙමම close වෙනවා. Right? Now let's run the program and see what happens. Okay, the program is running, and as you can see, the value is changing very rapidly. Now we don't like this, right? Typically a GPS simulator or a real GPS does not work in that fast. So we need to, for 200 milliseconds, 2000 milliseconds. And now run. Okay, every 2 milliseconds you get a new value. Still, start and stop does not work. So how do you make it start and stop? To start and stop, we are going to run this program. If there is a variable, right? Initially it is false, let's say, and it's a boolean, and I'm checking before running if it is on, and then only I do this task. Right? So whenever the start is clicked, I made this true, right? And here I make it false. See, go to the design and few more things that you have to adjust. Right? That's a complete program which simulates a GPS. And this is actually the decimal degree way, and if you like, you can convert it to a decrease minutes seconds. That's how typically typically a GPS coordinate can be given. Right, now I will again show you the code and see how simple it is. You have a thread and you start the thread, and also you make it background because you need to close the thread soon after you close the application. And within the thread, what you do, you have an eternal loop, and within the loop you check whether a variable is true or false. This is actually to pause the thread, right? And then within that, what you do, you create a random variable, right? Actually, you can create this one. Maybe if you like, you can create it here, right? So then it will create only one random variable, right? Only one random variable, and the value will be actually changed in this way, right? You get the value, and then you assign that value to a text, and another random variable, random value, and assign that to another text, and then you sleep for 2000 milliseconds. That's all, right? And when you click on the start button, you make the while loop get into this code block by making it true, otherwise it is false. Right, now, is there anything that you need to know, any doubts? And please, right, okay, it seems that you understood this one. And okay, I'm going to give you another exercise. It's not actually an exercise. This is a kind of assignment now, right? Now you have to work on this assignment, and I will post the upload portal in the Google Classroom. So you have to upload it before the specified time, right? And okay, I will close the program. Right, now check the chat box, right? There you can find a file, right? It's an assignment, your first assignment, and quickly start a new project, which should be a GUI project, right? Or maybe Windows Form application, and then start implementing. First of all, read this file carefully, and you have 1 hour, right? You have 1 hour to finish this one. And I have created the assignment upload portal as well. Now quickly finish this one and then upload it, right? So if you have any question, then yeah, if you have any doubt, then you better make a quick assumption by your own, right? A fair assumption with justification, and then you can write the assumption, whatever the assumption you made in the code, right? So I do not accept any kind of plagiarism, so do not talk with your friend, right? Or maybe get your friend's answer. And if I found guilty of any copying activity or plagiarism activity, then I will put 0 for the both, right? Both or maybe multiple people. I have done that before, so because of that, do not copy from somebody else, right? Use your maximum capacity and do it by yourself alone. Okay. මේක තියෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දන්නවා පයි කියන මේ වැලියු එක කොන්ස්ටන්ට් එක අනේ constant එක එන value එක නැත්තම් 3.14159265358 දෙක irrational number එකක් නේ අපරිමේය සංඛ්‍යාවක්. එතකොට මේ අපරිමේය සංඛ්‍යාවක මේ අදාළ අපරිමේය සංඛ්‍යාව කොහොමද හොයන්නේ කියන එක තමයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක හොයන එක විදිහක් මේ. මේක අපි exactly අපි සාමාන්‍ය කරන විදිහට නෙවෙයි. මේක අපි simulation එකකින් හොයන්නේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් පොඩි මේ කියන්නේ direct method එකක් නේ simulation method එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. right? මේකේ මෙහෙමයි ඕගොල්ලන්ට මේක අර මේක කියවලා මුලින් තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන. හරිද? මේකේ තියෙනවා මේ step by step දීලා මොනවද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ කියලා. right? දැන් මේ you asked to write a program to find the value of pi using simulation as described below. ඒ වගේ එකක් තේරුම් ගන්න අපහසු නැහැනේ. right? pi වල value එක හොයන්න තියෙන්නේ මේ පහල කියලා තියෙන විදිහට. ඒකෝට මේකේ තියෙනවා මේ simulation එකේදී අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා වෘත්ත එකක මේ හතරෙන් එකක් එහෙම නැත්නම් වෘත්ත කාලක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. ඒකේ radius එක එහෙම නැත්නම් array එකක් වෙනවා. right? ඒක අඩංගු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ සමචතුරස්‍රයක. ඒ සමචතුරස්‍රයේ dimension එකත් 1 සහ 1. ඒ කියන්නේ දිග 1යි පළල 1යි. right? එතකොට මේකේ දිග 1යි පළල 1යි වෙන සමචතුරස්‍රයක් ඇතුලේ වෘත්ත කාලක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වෘත්ත කාලයක් තියෙනවා. අපි කාල නැතු සම්පූර්ණ වෘත්තයක් ගත්තොත් සම්පූර්ණ වෘත්තයේ වර්ගඵලය වෙන්නේ πr වර්ගය. එතකොට r 1යි නම් ඒක π තමයි ඒකේ වර්ගඵලය වෙන්නේ. πr වර්ගය r 1යි නම් π කියලා තමයි වර්ගඵලය වෙන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ වෘත්තේ. දැන් මෙතන තියෙන්නේ වෘත්ත කාලයි. ඒ නිසා ඒ කාලේ වර්ගඵලය වෙන්නේ π බෙදීම 4යි. right? πr/4. නමුත් r කියන එක නිසා π බෙදීම 4යි එන්නේ. right? ඊට පස්සේ දැන් අපි කරන්න යන්නේ මොකද්ද? අපි මෙන්න මේ rectangle එක පුරවන්න යනවා points key random points වලින්. right? ඒක random points හතක් දිවා මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. මේ random points x සහ y coordinates අපි point එක කියන්නේ x y coordinate එකක් නේ. එතකොට x සහ y coordinates වල ඇත්තටම තියෙන්නේ x කියන coordinate එක යන්න පුළුවන් බිඳුව ඉඳන් 1 වෙනකන්. y කියන coordinate එක බිඳුව ඉඳන් 1 වෙනකන් යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකෝල random variable දෙකක් හදා ගන්න ඕන එක point එකකට. right? ඒ වගේ එක point එකක් නෙවෙයි points මහ ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම තමයි අපිට මේ points classify කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපි point එකක් හැදුවොත් මේ point එක plot කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ square එක ඇතුලේ මොකක් හරි තැනක. right? එතකොට දැන් බැරි වෙලාවත් 1 1 නැත්නම් x සමානයි 1 y සමාන 1 කියලා આવත මේ dot එක plot වෙන්නේ මේ සමචතුරස්‍රයේ top right corner එකේ. ඉහළ දකුණු කෙළවරේ තමයි plot වෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ point එක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ වෘත්ත කාලේ ඇතුළේ තියෙන point එකක් නෙවෙයි එළියේ තියෙන point එකක්. සමචතුරස්‍රය ඇතුලේ හැබැයි වෘත්ත කාලය ඇතුලේ නෙවෙයි වෘත්ත කාලය ඇතුලේ නෙවෙයි වෘත්ත කාලේ එළියේ. right? ඒක එහෙම තමයි මේක කරන්න අවශ්‍ය. මේ එක බලන්න වෙන්නේ මේ point එක ඇතුළේද එළියේද කියන එක. ඒක බලන්න, ඒ කියන්නේ වෘත්තය ඇතුළේද වෘත්තෙන් එළියේද කියලා බලන්න ලේසි ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට තමයි මේ දීලා තියෙන equation එකක් දීලා තියෙන ඔයගොල්ලන්ට බලන්න x වර්ගය දන y වර්ගයේ වර්ගමූලය අඩුයි r. ඒ කියන්නේ x සහ y ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්න ඔයගොල්ලෝ ලෙවලට ගත්ත point එකේ x සහ y coordinate එක ඒක ඒ දෙක වර්ග කරලා එකතු කරලා ඒක වර්ගමූලය අරගත්තොත් එයා එකට වඩා අඩු නම් right එකට වඩා අඩු නම් ඒ කියන්නේ වෘත්තය ඇතුලේ එකට වඩා වැඩි නම් ඒ කියන්නේ වෘත්තයෙන් පිට නමුත් වෘත්තයෙන් පිට හැබැයි මේ තාමත් ඔයාගේ ස්ක්වයර් එක ඇතුලේ නැත්නම් සමචතුරස්‍රය ඇතුලේ හේතුව තමයි x සහ y අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම එයාගේ මැක්සිමම් වැලියු එක වෙන්නේ 1 1 නිසා right. ඒතකොට දැන් මේකෙන් හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් වෘත්තය ඇතුළේද තියෙන්නේ එළියේද තියෙන්නේ කියලා ඕන දෙන ලද ඕනම පොයින්ට් එකක්. ඔයාට පොයින්ට්ස් මේ වගේ මහා ගොඩක් ඒ කියන්නේ ලොකු ප්‍රමාණයක් ඔයා ජෙනරේට් කරොත් එතකොට ඔයාගේ පොයින්ට්ස් කීපයක් ඇතුළට වැටෙන පොයින්ට්ස් කීපයක් වෘත්තෙන් එළියට වැටෙනවා. මෙන්න මේ පොයින්ට්ස් ගණන් කරලා මේ දෙකේ බෙදීම ගත්තොත් අපිට හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් මේ 5 කියන වැලියු එක. ඒක හොයාගන්න විදිය ඉක්වේෂන් එක දීලා තියෙනවා ඕගලන්ගේ දෙවෙනි පිටුවේ. right? area of the circle divided by area of the square කියන එක අපි දන්නවා. දැන් area of the circle කියන්නේ 5, area of the circle කියන්නේ මෙතන half මේ quarter circle තියෙන නිසා ඒක 5/4. area of the square කියන්නේ එක වැඩි කිරීම එක එතකොට 1යි. එතකොට මේ area of the circle divided by area of the square කියන එකෙන් අපිට එන්නේ 5/4යි. ඒක මොකද circle එකෙන් කාලක් තියෙන නිසා. ඒක සමාන වෙනවලු total number of random points within the circle. ඒ කියන්නේ circle එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන points ගණන බෙදීම total number of points generated. ඒ කියන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ points ගණනින් points generate කරනවා මහ ගොඩක්. ඒ ගොඩෙන් ඒ කීපයක් විතරයි ඒක ඇතුළට වෙනස කරලා ඒක ඇතුළට වැටෙන්නේ. අන්න ඒ ගණන බෙදුවොත් ඔයා ජෙනරේට් කරපු සම්පූර්ණ පොයින්ට්ස් ගණනින් ඒ උත්තරේ සමාන වෙනවලු 5/4 වලට. right? ඔයා 5/4 equal some number. ඔයාට එන්නේ එහෙමයි. 5 බෙදීම 4 කියන එක නම්බර් එකකට සමාන වෙනවා. එහෙම වුණොත් ඒ නම්බර් එක 4ෙන් වැඩි කරොත් ඔයාට එනවා 5 කියන වැලියු එක. ඔන්න ඕක තමයි කරන්න ඕන. right? එතකොට මේකේ අඳින්න මුකුත් නැහැ. ඔයාගේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් හදන්න ඕන. ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකේ ටෙක්ස්ට් එකක් තියෙයි. ටෙක්ස්ට් එක ඉල්ලයි මේ වැලියු එකක්. right? ඒ වැලියු එක තමයි කොච්චර ඉටරේෂන්ස් ගන්න නැත්නම් කොච්චර පොයින්ට්ස් ගන්නකවත් ජෙනරේට් කරනවද කියන එක. ඒ පොයින්ට්ස් ගන්න රැන්ඩම්ලි ජෙනරේට් කරලා ඔයාට බලන්න තියෙන්නේ සර්කල් එකේ රැන්ඩම් පොයින්ට්ස් වලින් සර්කල් එක ඇතුළට වැටෙන ගාන කීයද? ඒ වගේම සම්පූර්ණ ජෙනරේට් කරපු රැන්ඩම් පොයින්ට්ස් ගණන කීයද? මේ දෙක බෙදුවට පස්සේ බෙදලා 4ෙන් වැඩි කරපුවාම ඔයාට උත්තර එනවා. ඕක තමයි කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. right? ඕක මේක හරි මේක හරියට කියවලා මේ තේරුම් අරගෙන ඉම්ප්ලිමන්ට් කරන්න. එතකොට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පොඩි GUI ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් එන්නේ එක ටෙක්ස්ට් බොක්ස් එකක් තියෙනවා වැලියු එකක් අරගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ කොච්චර පොයින්ට්ස් ජෙනරේට් කරනවද කියලා ගන්න. අනිත් එක තියෙන්නේ 5 කියන වැලියු එක. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ 5 කියන වැලියු එකට ඔයාට ගාපු ගාන කීයද කියන එක. එතකොට හරියටම ඔයාට මේ ගාන මෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද මේක සිමුලේෂන් එකක් නිසා මේ 3.14 ගානෙන්ම ඒ කියන්නේ හරියට මේ ගාන එන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් ඔය ඉටරේෂන්ස් ගන්න වැඩි කරන්න නැත්නම් number of points ගන්න වැඩි කරන්න සමහරවිට ඔයාලට මේට ආසන්න අගයක් ීමේ හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා. right? ඕක තමයි විදිහ. දැන් අසයින්මන්ට් එක මම කරන්න ඕනේ ඔක්කොම කියලා තියෙන්නේ මේ කරන්න ඉක්මනට. right? ඔයාලට තව ඕනනම් මම මේකේ ටයිම් එක තව දික් කරන්නම්. 10:00 වෙනකොට එවන්නකෝ. should be Windows application, and then I will create Windows application and will choose my default location, and this one I will name it as Monte Carlo pi, because we are going to find the pi. And here I am creating my project. Now the time is 10:46. Okay, quickly create the GUI. Since this is an assignment, I'm not going to check how well you follow the best practices, right? And I will just create a label. It's number of points, and I will get the number of points by using a text box. And even I do not check for any verification, and here I will say it is txt, let's say number, right? And then here I again create another label to place the pi, and I will put the name as lbl pi, and initially it does not have anything. Right, and it will simply calculate it, and here I will place a button to generate, and here let's say estimate, right? Estimate the pi. So what do we have to do? So when you click on the button, right, we have to estimate. First of all, we have to get the
txt number dot text. Right here we get the number of int points, right? Point ganana gatta. Now we are going to write a for loop. Bindu indala points enaka. Right? Random number එකක් මම generate කරනවා. Random are equal new random. Right? හරි. දැන් මම හදනවා int x තමානයි r dot අපි මෙතන double එකක් ගමු. හේතුව තමයි x කියන එක බිඳුවත් එකත් අතරට තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ බැලුවොත් පෙනෙයි x තියෙන x axis එකේ තියෙන බිඳුවත් එකත් අතර, right? The value of the x should be lie within 0 to 1 and y also should lie within the 0 to 1. So because of that we'll use a double, and here we'll ask the next double. As you know already, when you call next double, it will give you a value between 0 to 1, a random one, right? And another one, it's for the y, right? Now, these are the x and y. Now we need to check as per what we really need to do is total number of random points within the circle. So how do you check whether the point is within the circle? The point is within the circle if it satisfies this condition, right? Can you see? Assuming that the randomly generated point denoted by x and y, then the point is within the circle if satisfies this condition. So we need to check this whether it satisfies this condition, right? So simply we need to check, okay, what is the r? We know the r is the radius of the circle is 1, right? It is already provided where r is 1, right? So we need to check x squared plus y squared and the square root of that. Now simply get the x times x plus y times y, and then you need to get the square root, math dot square root, and here you have, and if it is less than the r, then what? You have to count the number of points, right? Why? The local variable function name r is already defined. R is there, right? So let's say radius should be less than radius. Oops. Right, if it is less than radius, then you have to first of all count int points inside circle, right? Point inside circle should be equal first of all 0. We don't know number of points now, and now here we know that it is inside the right. Now we keep increasing it, and then what? That's all actually, right? Now we are going to find the pi, double pi equal, right? So how do you find the pi? Simply total number of random points within the circle divided by total number of points generated. We know that total number of points generated is equal to the number of points we generated now, right? And this will give us the total number of points within the circle. So we divide this value by the points, right? And actually this is equal to the pi by 4, right? Pi divided by 4, pi by 4, right? So you have to multiply this total number with the 4, then you get the pi. So simply multiply this with 4. And then you can assign this value to the text box or the label. There you go. Let's run it and then check whether we have done any mistakes here. And I'm going to put just 5,000. Okay, there must be some problem because I'm receiving pi equals 0. Why is that? This might be the problem. Now it's something closer, right? You can say 5,000, right? See, okay, I will put another space here to make it more clear. Right now, 10,000. Right? Can you see now it is just 3.14588, right? So this is the answer. And if we say just 200, it's 3.1. Now this is an approximation, as I told you before. It's not going to be exact pi unless you put every large number, right? So you should be able to make it more closer to the number, right? But still there will be some error, right? And after some time you cannot get closer, right? Get closer or maybe reduce that error regardless of how many points that you generated. And see, now the time is 10:56 and we started it 10:46, right? So it took only 10 minutes, right? It took only 10 minutes. And if you check now, I actually implemented this by looking at the instructions given in the sheet, right? What else you cannot understand? Total number of points, we calculate the total number of points within the circle, and we know the total number of points we generated, and then you divide it and then multiply it by 4, and then you get the value for the pi, right? And even if you cannot understand this part, this is also given, right? Generate a random point should be lie within the square, right? And add 1 to the total count variable, right? We don't have the total count variable because we already know that the total count is because it's given, it's provided by the user, right? And if you like, you can actually get the total count as well, and then classify the point whether it is inside the quarter circle or not, right? එතකොට point එක generate කරා point එක ඇතුළේද නැද්ද කියලා අපි බැලුවා. Here we checked it, and then if it is inside, add 1 to the total inside count, right? And we use a different name, points inside circle. And then what? We did same thing to the for predefined number of iterations. ඒක තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ, for number of points. And finally, you apply it in this equation and then you get the value for the pi, right? Now here you have to do another thing, right? Create a GUI which prompts the user to number of iterations, and when user clicks on the calculate button, it should run the above algorithm for given number of iterations and show the calculated value of pi, right, on GUI after every iteration, right? Now this is something that you have to do, right? මේක දැනට අපිට iterations ඔක්කොම ඉවරනාට පස්සේ තමයි පෙන්නන්නේ, right? මේක උගලන්ට තව verify කරන්න මේ හරියට හදාන්න පුළුවන්. If you implement this in a thread, then you can actually show the total implementation or the total value after every iteration, right? හැම iteration එකකට පස්සෙම පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන් මේක thread එකක implement කරන්න. So we'll see how to do that. So you are going to create another one. It's a public void public void okay. Public void, let's say run. Yeah, we are also outside, right? We need to make sure that we are inside. Right now you have one for the thread, and maybe you can parameterize it, and maybe you can directly get the value from it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a global variable. It's a public variable, public int points, and here I'm going to assign this dot points, right? And what should I do? The same thing, right? I'm going to do the same thing. And here I'm creating a thread t equal new thread, and I have to write system.threading automatically. We'll implement it, and here we need to pass it is from, and then t dot start. Right now, only thing that you have to do is now every iterations you have to do this one, right? In every iterations you have to do this particular calculation. So because of that, we are going to put this here, right? Every time you are going to calculate this one. Now, since because the number of points that has been already generated is different, so you have to have another variable int total points generated. It's also 0. So while you are going, you can just increase it. මේක යනකොට කොච්චර මේක මේ generate කරනවද කියලා මේ බලන්න පුළුවන්, right? And then you are dividing it by using the total points generated, right? And you know that you cannot directly assign something like this due to the cross-thread accessing. Dot invoke, and within this invoke you can say a method invocator, method invoker, and here you define the delegate, and now you can say this, right? So that's it. Right, and now it should iterate very rapidly, and at the same time while you are while it's keep iterating, then simply it will show you the value or the value in the progress. We'll check whether we have done any mistake here. We'll use 10,000. Okay, now it keeps showing me the value with each iteration, the end value. $50,000. Now you can see how the value is different based on the number generated. So this is the value we got. When you run this for multiple times, you will get different value, right? එකම value එක එන්නේ නැහැ, වෙනස් values එන්නේ. හේතුව තමයි මේක අපි randomly generate කරන නිසා. හැබැයි ආසන්න වශයෙන් සමානයි අපේ typical pi value එකට ආසන්න වශයෙන් සමාන value එකක් තමයි උත්තරේ එන්න ඕන. Right, by looking at this one, right, this is the actual answer that should be the answer that you have to provide, right? But anyway, I checked only one, then I submit කරලා තිබ්බේ. Okay, දැන් ඇත්තටම submit කරන්න එපා, තේරුමක් නැහැනේ. දැන් submit කළා මොකද මම answer එක දැන් දීලා තියෙන්නේ. I will only consider the proper submission of the late submission, and within the proper submission again I checked one with the that is of Chamod Madhu Anta. The answer is anyway wrong. And who's the other one? Shashi Karunaratne. We'll check what happened in your case. Okay, she understood in different way. You don't have to draw this one, right? You don't have to draw this one. Make it කියලා නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේක අඳින්න කියලා නැහැ. This is nothing, right? This answer is also incorrect. Credit point 4යි. Module aims develop applications with .NET framework using technologies such as VB.NET, C#, ADO.NET, ASP.NET. Right? So not pay our attention to VB.NET, ADO.NET, ASP.NET. Right? Only C#. So you can get the C# out. And the developing, debugging, testing, documentation, document software, and to a high standard. So this is the aim, right? Learning. Okay, let's see the content. Okay, you will get explanation of the .NET platform, configuration to the Visual Studio .NET, program with C#, implement methods, right? You know how to implement a method, implement encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism in C#, right? So that means almost all the object-oriented concepts have been given, and use C# with the .NET framework, use Microsoft ADO.NET to access manipulate data in the database. So you have done the database accessing as well, right? If you do database accessing, then what? මෙහෙම මෙතන දැන් සෞම්‍ය කියලා තියෙනවා double OP කරේ නැහැ කියලා. double OP කරේ නැති වුණාට ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නව double OP concepts. Encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism in C# should be done in the first course. Feature rich Windows based applications. ඒ කියන්නේ GUI programming වල දැනගන්න ඕන. Create web applications by using web forms. ඒ කියන්නේ ASP.NET උත් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරලා තියෙනවා. WPF හරි ඒ කියන්නේ Windows Presentation Foundation හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් ASP.NET glass මොනවා හරි මේ අලුත් මේ Silverlight එක හරි මොනවා හරි ඒකත් එක්ක කරලා තියෙන්න ඕන. XML web services in a C# application. Experiments with more advanced features in C#. Then make aim කරන්නේ prepare students to sit Microsoft.NET framework application development foundation exams, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ foundation exam වලට ලියන්න තරම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට knowledge එකක් තියෙනවා. foundation exam එක lazy නෑ ලියන්න, right?